Hi, I'm Jonathan Grant. Um, my first experience with this topic was about 12 years ago when I got a call early one Saturday morning that my father had been killed. My best friend, Caleb, called me and told me. And then I had to call my brother and tell him that our father had been killed and call my grandfather to tell him that his son had been killed. Um, yeah, it was immediately into like the mode of all the things that had to be done, the people that had to be called, had to talk to the press, had to drive back to my family's house, and immediately kind of go into the mode of dealing with. There were by the time I got to my parents' house, there was already dozens and dozens of people there, aunts and uncles and relatives and friends. And like I said, the press was already there. And just kind of having to go already into that mode of helping other people process it and understand. There were still so many facts that were hazy. We didn't know exactly what had happened other than that someone had, under the influence of drugs or alcohol, had killed my father. And we just kind of went immediately into the mode of dealing with it. Um, yeah, I think my immediate response was kind of to forgive, not just kind of wanting to release whoever had done that from the weight of that and wanting them to be well and okay. Like, I was kind of aware of how much trauma goes into that experience from that side. But it was the first time I'd experienced something like this. And talking about it is still difficult, not because it's emotional, but just because it's it's weird to talk about from this perspective, I think. Um, Even though like I talk at the victims impact panel regularly, it still feels like a challenging thing to talk through and express, though I know it's helpful to hear kind of everyone's perspectives and sides on things. Um, for my mom, it was someone who had she lost her husband, and she, and from Stacy, who speaks at the panel, I know like she had to deal with the weight of her son having done something like that. For for me, I think it's more I had these moments throughout my year where I encounter things I would have done with my dad. Um, I go to places that he would find special, or I hear a song, or I read a book that I know he would have loved, and I think about calling him. Sometimes I even like pick up my phone to tell him still, though like I said, it's been over a decade. Um, but yeah, I think the experience of watching how devastating it's been on Brandon's life, that he to have killed someone, is maybe one of the hardest parts of this all. Like watching how his life was derailed, how hard it is for him to think about um, pursuing the same passions or life goals that he was planning on. Um, I think that's hard. That's hard to watch. I think most of all, with this program and with all of this, I just want I want people to know that they can move on from it. Like I want that for Brandon. And I want people to be free. I see how every person processes the traumatic events of their lives differently. And I mean, I see how I have done it in ways that are constructive or destructive. And I kind of see the use of drinking and drugs in this context as like a way to try to process those traumatic events. And yeah, I kind of just wish everyone to be able to process things and be set free from those, and to forgive themselves for whatever they've done in their past. Like, I know this weighs heavily on so many people that I know who have made these choices, and many of my friends have had similar experiences where they have been drinking and driving or under the influence of drugs, and I want them to be set free too. I want everyone to be able to just move on with their lives in the best way possible. I think that's some of my takeaway from my experience of this has been how it really could have been any of us. And yeah,